Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Founder Stories by TeamWave. And our today's guest is Jonaed Iqbal. So he's the founder and CEO of NoDegrees.com. NoDegree.com is an online career resource for people without college degrees. They can search jobs and sort for career advice. So personally, Jonaed, I love the mission of this company because it is when I was going through a LinkedIn profile and I read the mission, I read it twice because I wanted to make sure whether it is actually for the people who have no degrees. So I would love to hear from you what is No Degrees, like more about the company.
Yeah, so I help people without college degrees find jobs. It's right now I'm focused on the US, but eventually I do want to be focused on other countries in the world because look, I was born in Bangladesh. I came to
Mhm,
New York City when I was 3 years old. And in the Bengali and India, educate it's always education. What school did
mhm.
you go to? And become a doctor. Everything's always education.
Yeah.
But if you look, just because you're a doctor does not mean you're ethical, right?
Mhm,
My dad has done work for doctors that have not paid him, right?
mhm,
So a lot of times, so much of intelligence is tied to your education. But there's so much you're going to see a lot of people who go to these top schools. They have tutors. There are a lot of things, and the other thing is some people may not be good in their studies, but they're good at other things, right? They're creative. There's so many ways. Maybe some people are better in business because there are some people who are so good at school, but in the real world they're not so good. So there's so much more that makes a person. So that's like the real mission. I didn't like how if you didn't go to the top school or you didn't go that if you did bad in school, all of a sudden you're a bad person, that you're not good, you're sort of worthless to society. And then also in the US, education is really, really expensive.
mhm.
The same degree that was used to cost like a few thousand a year, now it's like 10, 20, 30 times the price.
Mm,
And it's just not affordable. And the thing is, you're not even guaranteed a job, right? There was a time you go to college, you get a job. Now,
mhm.
if you go to college, you got to get multiple internships and you still struggle. So it's just a different time frame. So I
Yeah.
want to remove the stigma attached to people without college degrees.
Mhm. Actually, Junaid, this is an idea which comes to everyone's mind. For example, we all think like, what if we could get a job without degrees? But
Yeah.
what motivated you to, convert this idea into a business?
I just saw that there really wasn't anything out there. And then I searched up domains. I first searched up trades.com. That was for sale, but that's like at least 100. It is probably like $1 million domain,
Mhm,
trades.com. Then I searched up nodegree.com. I put an inquiry in, and a few days later, I got an inquiry, and I think I didn't respond. And then the next one, they say, "Hey, we're offering it for like 1,800 US dollars." So I called two of my friends, like, "Oh, we can
mhm.
split up and we can do something." And at first, it was just just those things, how you talk to your friends, like, "Hey, let's do this
Yeah.
business." But I kind of like my eyes lit up. I was like, "Oh, I can really make a business out of this." Then I just kept on doing research, years of research, and all that, and then eventually, it just slowly I learned more. I learned how I can make it, how I could monetize it, and just kept on doing a lot of research, reading, and
Mhm,
then I figured out the business model. I quit my job to do it full time. Once I did enough research, I didn't make money for like a year and a half,
mhm,
and then thankfully I did start making money in the beginning of 2020,
mhm.
and now it's cash flow positive. It funds itself, and it's growing.
Okay. So first, did you like in the research phase? First, did you check like whether there are recruiters who were wanting for such business? What like how did the research phase go?
No, so what I kind of wanted to do was, if you want to become like a financial advisor, there are websites dedicated to financial advisors. If you want to become a welder, there's websites dedicated to welders. But the thing is, you have to know to search up these careers. So what happens if you don't know? Where do you go? So kind of wanted to be, if you have no idea what you want to do and you don't have a degree, I wanted people to come to nodegree.com where all the research is done. And so they can learn about these careers and then they can figure out, oh, you know what? I want to be a welder, or, hey, I don't want to be a plumber. So I kind of wanted to give them a taste and say, hey, you want to be a welder? Check out American Welding Society. Read this book on how to become a welder. Here's some interest, here's some different things, here's how you can get promoted as a welder and make more money. Because the thing is, a lot of people just don't know about these careers. Like,
Mhm,
if you look at high school kids, even college kids, they're like, oh, I just locked doctor, lawyer, engineer, accountant, couple jobs. They don't realize even within engineering there's 50 different disciplines. Even within
mhm,
lawyers there's so many disciplines. Most people, they don't know anything about careers. So, and a lot of people without college degrees, they don't come from an environment
mhm.
where they really know a lot. A lot of these careers, it's, oh, my uncle's a plumber, that's how I got in. My cousin got me in. But what if you don't have a cousin? What if you don't have a family member? What are you going to do? So I kind of wanted to give them the step by steps.
Mhm. So actually now, can you give a rough sketch like how many employers and employee are there around in nodegree.com who have registered in nodegree.com?
So right now it's more an information hub. So I'm not focused on
Mhm.
employers as much. I'm
Yeah.
more focused on content. So I'm focused
Yeah.
on podcasting. I mean, I'm
Mhm,
partnered with, I have like the ZipRecruiter, like the API. So you can search for jobs, and it pulls from ZipRecruiter. So right now it's more of, I want to focus on content first,
mhm,
grow the traffic through there by providing content before I start going after employers. But I mean, I've done hundreds of resumes for people,
mhm,
and I have a podcast which I have, more close to 12,000 subscribers. I have LinkedIn. So a lot of time now it's more information based
Mhm.
and more coaching based. And then
Yeah.
I'm going to focus more on some courses, but I do want to give away as much for free as possible.
Mm.
Like the podcast has no ads and is free, and all the content on the site is free.
Yeah. So, what is like the pricing model? Like I have seen on your website, you charge the recruiters, right,
Employer.
for the job posting.
No,
Yeah.
well, recruiters or employers.
Yeah.
So employer for job posting. But the real way I make money is actually through resumes and interview prep. So
Okay.
through LinkedIn, someone's like, "Hey, I have an interview coming up. Can you help me?"
Mhm.
Or, "Hey, I want to apply. I'm not getting interviews. Can you help me apply for job? Help me with the resume." And oftentimes, the resume is really the issue. Like I've gotten people into Amazon, Tesla, Microsoft, you know,
Mhm.
JP Morgan,
Mm.
MetLife, the IRS. So I've gotten people into a lot of companies because I know the resumes inside and out. And through there, I also share in my content like how I do some of these things.
Mm. So, actually, when this pandemic came, a lot of businesses shut down and many people were losing jobs. So, how did it affect nodegree.com?
I mean, the good thing is we're a low capital business. We
Mhm.
don't have high, monthly fees. So at first, a lot of people were not, a lot of jobs went away, a lot of things. But the fact is, there are always jobs. There are always people hiring. So there are always people looking. Now, the thing is, I don't need to do 100 resumes a month. I only need to do a
Mhm.
handful of resumes a month. And thankfully, we have several income sources that I actually launched another business during it that was more like a virtual events for employers that also tied in. So that ended up taking off. So as an entrepreneur, you always have to be ready for
Mhm.
because these things happen.
Yeah, sure. We have to be ready to face such challenges, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, coming to that, I would love to hear one major challenge that you faced as a founder and how did you overcome it?
No, I mean, look, the first year and a half when I quit my job, it was tough. Like the first year, my 2019 tax return, I lost $7,000. Like the company lost
Mm.
$7,000, and I only did like little odd things, like I tutored, did whatever. I filled up. I had a small ATM business, so I wasn't really making much. I was dipping into my savings and stuff, using credit cards. So that's always tough because as an entrepreneur, look, I suck as in a regular employee.
Yeah, coming to that, I would love to hear one major challenge that you faced as a founder and how did you overcome it?
No, I mean, look, the first year and a half when I quit my job, it was tough. Like the first year, my 2019 tax return, I lost $7,000. Like the company lost
Mm.
$7,000, and I only did like little odd things, like I tutored, did whatever. I filled up. I had a small ATM business, so I wasn't really making much. I was dipping into my savings and stuff, using credit cards. So that's always tough because as an entrepreneur, look, I suck as in a regular employee because I'm always late to work. It's not like I don't like corporate structure. I'm always questioning things. I'm not like to me. I mean, not that I won't be a good worker. It's just mentally in my head, I'm like going crazy. Like, why are things this way? I'm always outside of work. I'm always thinking about creating. So that it's always tough. That obviously, if I had to go back to that, I would. But that was like sort of the tough thing. Like me having to go back to that because I unfortunately as a Bengali person, I'm my parents' retirement. They don't have retirement. I'm their
Mhm.
retirement. So if
Yeah.
I don't succeed, then they're in trouble. So that's something that I'm always thinking about.
And what drives you forward? Like there would be bad days, especially when you're an entrepreneur. So what drives you forward to keep on going on? Like,
Honestly, it's just lifestyle and habit.
yeah.
Like, because the thing is, it's you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have good days, and you can't just like I don't use motivation because
Mhm.
motivation goes away. Like, if you were motivated, like, are you motivated to brush your teeth every day? Right? You just do it, right? It's not like, hey, I'm gonna go brush my teeth every day. I'm motivated. It's like you kind of have to do it. So it's just kind of, doing what you can. And honestly, like, I don't want to go back to a corporate job. And what
Mhm.
really motivates me is like when I can help someone land a great role, like I made a difference in that life. Like I took people who are unemployed and got them jobs, and they're like, wow, like I got some people $30,000 to $40,000 salary raises. So that's big. So when I saw that, that really motivated because like I see the direct impact. Like when I work corporate, producing these reports, I didn't see direct impact. And so that's like, okay, like, and you produce these reports, they look at it for a few minutes or they don't even look at it and you don't know, but you have to keep doing it and you can't do anything about it.
So actually, when I hear that you have left your corporate job and then moved to entrepreneurship, that's a huge step, right? So actually, what was that? What were you feeling? Means at that particular moment, how did you feel? Like when I hear that you have left your corporate job and then moved to entrepreneurship, that's a huge step, right? So at that particular moment, how did you feel? Like when you took this step? Were you were you
I was
happy
happy.
about it?
No,
You're
I was
happy?
extremely happy. Now,
Yeah.
look, I will tell you that I live at home, so that impacts my decision because if I had rent to pay and these monthly bills, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But I made that sacrifice. Like, I'm 29. I'm turning 30 in a few days, and I still live at home. But I don't care where I'm 30. I care where I'm at when I'm 35. I care where I'm at 40. So you have to make sacrifices, right? So I was extremely happy, and like it was freeing. Like I got to work on what I wanted to, and I got to focus on my strengths, and I didn't have to focus on my weaknesses. And for me, like the thing is, it's a personality. Some people like stability. They like, hey, I know I'm gonna get paid every 2 weeks. I know what I'm gonna get paid. I don't have to worry about these other things. But me, it's like I'm always doing these other things. So for me, it's happy. Like I see much more reward for
Mhm.
doing these other things.
Okay, great. And like I had two fun questions for you. So which is one book you would recommend to other entrepreneurs, founders, such business people?
I would recommend the book Never Split the Difference by Christopher Voss.
Okay.
And that's a book on negotiation.
Mhm.
And it goes into the philosophy of negotiation, and it really breaks down the way he approaches negotiation. Is not a battle, it's more about understanding communication. So that's one book I would recommend. The other book I would recommend is Secrets of Power Negotiation or Power Negotiating by Roger Dawson. So
Mhm.
one is the philosophy of negotiation,
Mhm.
the other one are the tactics of negotiation. So then what exactly people are using, because people are always negotiating, whether they're intentional or not, right? Your kids are
Mhm.
negotiating and all that stuff. So, and I think as entrepreneurs and even as regular people, you're always negotiating
Yeah,
some.
negotiation is one of the most
You're
important.
always,
Yeah.
and then, and people are always negotiating with you. So it helps
Mhm.
you understand, you know, a lot of things and see things. And then you can kind of react appropriately because oftentimes when you do the initial reaction, these people are ready for your initial reaction
Mhm.
and they have a counter. Whereas if you play it a certain way, it will just improve your life in so many ways.
Okay, great. And what is like one productivity hack that you personally use, which you would like
Oh,
to share with others?
so as whatever, oftentimes procrastination is a big issue, right? That you
Mhm.
don't want to do something. So one thing we always put off different things. So one thing that I use to really do things is to say I'm only going to do something for 5 minutes. So if you say, hey, I'm only going to work on this for 5 minutes, I'm only going to edit this for 5 minutes, I'm only going to clean my room for 5 minutes, I'm only going to exercise for 5 minutes. Because the thing with your brain is it's easier for your brain to continue an action it's already doing
Mhm.
than to start a new one. Because there's a
Yeah.
mental, like if you say, oh, I got to spend 3 hours on this project, it's like then you start putting it off. You want to do something. But if you say, hey, I'm going to work on this project for 5 minutes, you're going to do it. And then you can say, oh, 5 more minutes. And then eventually that's how you get in. Like starting is the hardest part,
Mhm.
but it's easier to start a small
Yeah,
task
yeah.
and then you extend the task. So that's one thing I always do.
Okay.
Fold one shirt. Start with one little thing, and then that's how you get up.
Yeah, so that's something I would add to my personal productivity hack as well.
Yeah.
And we are almost coming to an end because you have answered all the questions like directly. So one question is what, like, do you think we missed out on anything you want to share with others as well?
I mean, one day I really hope to make an impact in India because
Mhm.
I know like people spend
Yeah.
years trying to get into IIT and
Yes.
just schools like that, and it kind of sucks. And I think the younger generation it isn't as bad, but the older generation it's like really bad. Like I've seen it just cause a lot of issues with parents and stuff. Like I grew up. I remember my mom just always, oh, you got a 98. Oh, why didn't you get
Mhm.
nine? Why didn't you get 100? Or this kid, that kid. I think, just realize that it's okay for people. You need people to be good at different things. If everybody in the world was doctors, who's going to fix their cars, right? How
Yeah,
are they going to get to work? Who's going
actually.
to, all these other things? Who's going to fix the roads? And every job has a value in society.
Mhm.
Plumber, like go live in a house without plumbing and see how it
Yeah.
is it, right? So I think we as just global society, we really just need to value everybody
Mhm.
has a contribution and don't put down anyone for sort of what they do. Everything, because society needs
Mhm.
everything. That's how it works, right? Like for a house, you need the furniture, you need the walls, you need the heating, and you miss one thing
Yeah.
and it's no longer a house, right? It's
Yeah.
no longer the same. It's not, it doesn't have the same value. Same thing.
Mhm.
Society is not the same when it's missing something.
And the best part is, I think the perception has started changing. At least it's just the starting, but I think it has
Yeah, it
started
takes
changing a
time.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Start
takes
like
time.
in India itself, now there are more college dropouts, people who want to follow their passion. There are a lot of people who are creating content like at the age of 16, they don't go to college. They rather prefer creating, content regarding digital marketing or
Yeah.
productivity. Yeah. So
And I
that's
hope to
great.
see that more because you need just more of that.
Yeah. And I also noted one, I loved your LinkedIn post. I was like following few of the posts that you made.
Yeah.
So
I'm a joker. I'm a clown on LinkedIn.
yeah, but it's like very genuine post that we all face. So like today itself morning, I saw your post about how people just sent an intro and then leave.
Yeah. Look, I have close to 28,000 followers.
Yeah.
If you never intro me back, if you like, I won't forget. I won't even remember. Like people will say, hey, if you have a job for me, let me know. I'll be like, look, I'll be honest. I'm not going to remember you because how am I going to remember
Yeah.
someone
Mhm.
like 5 months from now when I get like thousands of messages? Unless I interact with you on a regular basis
Yeah.
and you have something so memorable, I'm not going to remember you.
Exactly. So is there someone in LinkedIn that you personally love to follow? Like you follow their posts regularly?
I mean, I follow a lot of people in terms of I follow like if you were to follow someone, I would tell you to follow someone who's producing content
Mhm.
in your area of expertise because who I follow is different from what you.
Okay. And any advice for entrepreneurs?
Self-awareness, understand your strengths and understand your weaknesses. You don't have to be good at everything. You just have to be good at a few things and be, double down on them. That you outsource what you're, not good at. I think as entrepreneurs, there's some things we just hate doing, and it's better if you can find ways to do something else and use that money you make from doing something else to pay someone to do that.
Mhm.
And because the thing is, you can never do everything yourself anyway.
Yeah. So when you talk about that point, how many people do you have in your team, like in nodegree.com?
So no degree, because it's partnered with another company. So no degree has 5 owners.
Okay.
We have about 3 to 5 people working with us at any
Mhm.
given time. And then there's another company that no degree owns half of. We
Mhm.
have 20 to 60 people working with us because we do virtual
Okay.
events. So that can scale up. It's like sometimes we have 60 people working with us at
Mhm.
certain events. So that one has a regular team of 20 to 30.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all, Jonas. That's all from my end. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was my pleasure as well.